Did anybody see this scoreline coming? Newcastle 4, Paris Saint-Germain 1. I repeat, PSG got humiliated by Newcastle 4-1. What a night for the Magpies. What a night for the Geordies. PSG embarrassing in the Champions League yet again. I said this weeks ago when I made that story time video of why PSG crumble in the Champions League. That's why. Humiliation in the worst way possible. This is Newcastle's first Champions League game at home in 20 years. And what a performance they put out. Fight for the badge, defending like rocks. This is why Newcastle should be taken seriously. They had a little bit of a hurdle at the beginning of the season, losing to the likes of Man City, Liverpool and Brighton, and since the international break, been on storm, apart from AC Milan. We'll let them off because it was their first Champions League game. And boy did people prove me wrong. Jamal Lascelles in particular has not started in over a year before last week. What a game he had in defence with Fabian Schär. And also Dan Burn, Sean Longstaff, Miggy Almiron also getting on the score sheet. And there's one in particular that I'll be really talking about later. But before we get started, I've been rambling on for a little bit. If you can like and share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. What a night of the Champions League this was, and without further ado, let's get started. As I said before, it was their first game in 20 years in the Champions League. At home, St James's Park, you already know that the atmosphere will be rocking. With the flags, with the tifos, it was all on display. The fans were really up for it. And that had to set a message to the players to actually perform out there on the stage of the Champions League, and you fight for that badge. Every single one of those players did that last night. Every single one of them. Half of the squad, right, were literally 2 years ago in a relegation battle under Steve Bruce. Now, they're humiliating big oppositions like PSG in the Champions League. What a turnaround for Newcastle as a whole of a football club. Now the fans have something to actually look forward to. Yes, it was like last year. Last year they did fantastic. They're going on a whole new level now. And it's a real stark contrast from 2 years ago, Mike Ashley era. Is he not going to sell the club? Newcastle being ran down to the bones, being relegated, and then being bought by Saudi Arabia, who intend to make Newcastle the biggest club on planet Earth. I have full respect for them for footballing ambitions, because this is why. This is why, man. What do you want me to say about this? You got either an owner, not because it's wealthy, rich, right? Who cares, who wants the Newcastle to do well, or any club to do well. And you buy those players, we can nurture them, and if they perform on the biggest stage possible in the Premier League and the Champions League. Or, you take the second option, and I'm like, Ashley, Laser, whoever, right? Whoever's a terrible owner. You be bought, you put on debts, you'll be riddled, you're very poor, as evident 2 years ago when they couldn't even afford a loan fee. I'm talking about Newcastle getting relegated. Yeah, coming back up, but at what cost? Because you might go down, emerging in the relegation battle. So that's another side. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the match itself. Already on the front foot, Newcastle were pressing PSG high. They were pressing so high, and it really paid off. It really paid off for the first goal, right? Marquinhos tries to go long, loses the ball, and got rebounded to Isaac, which was a good save by Donnarumma, but Almiron with another good finish that Donnarumma could not save that time. And that was Newcastle's first goal in the Champions League for 20 years. So all was fine. Everyone was delightful, delirium, limbs galore. And then before half time in the 40th minute, Dan Burn thought he scored and there was a lengthy offside. Lengthy offside, VAR check. And the goal went in. Bruno G was on the side, but I think they were checking the handball, because we cannot have another mistake with the offside, with the semi-automatic offsides, instead of the English VAR referees. We don't talk about them anymore. And then handball, there was a handball check, I think. Don't know the specifics, because it's not the Premier League, so we do not know. So the VAR gave it a goal, 2-0 half time. What's the first half? And you can say PSG might be coming back. Newcastle might lose out on the lead. That was a possibility. Because you got likes of Colomwani, Gonzalo Ramos. Who's the other? Of course you got Kylian Mbappe and then Ousmane Dembele. Oh, we'll get on to them forwards in a minute. Dreadful they were. Anyways, second half. Already having the same momentum as the first half. Pressing high, winning the ball, and then Sean Long, a good pass by Trippier. So Sean Longstaff, taking a powerful shot. Donnarumma, in my opinion, should have saved it. That was 3-0. And I genuinely believe Newcastle won it. Because 2-0 lead is always dangerous for the wrong reasons. And 3-0, yeah, you can be calm, you can relax, and can just defend for the rest of the game. So 3-0, they would take it, they would absolutely take it. And then 5 minutes later, it kind of went a little bit wrong. Zaire Emery lobbed it over to Luca Hernandez, the brother of Theo Hernandez, scoring the header, makes it 3-1. And that was their only real opportunity in the game. And I'm going to be talking about the disaster class of PSG up front. Ousmane Dembele, Kylian Mbappe, and Colomwani in particular were just dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Even Ramos, he was dreadful as well. The whole lot of the PSG forwards were dreadful. Two midfielders in Ugarte, Zaire Emery. They got 4 attackers. If we're gonna go for the kill in the attack, you have to score the goals. If you have to rely on a left back to score, you are really bad or overrated. One or the other. I mean, Ousmane Dembele just kept on giving the ball away, being so predictable. It was so predictable. Kylian Mbappe got double teamed, never got a sniff on goal. Colomwani, I never recognised him in the game. I genuinely did not recognise Colomwani was playing until I saw Bradley Barcola coming on. And then Ramos, I didn't know he had a touch. He was definitely in the game. He was just anonymous like Colomwani, but at least I noticed him. And also Ramos was at fault for the final goal, making it 4-1. Fabian Schär gets off him, passes to Jacob Murphy 1-2. And as Schär slips, he shot the ball, and it went in. And oh my goodness, what a goal by Fabian Schär. Not only to win it, but what a goal that was. Okay, it was lucky. It was lucky. He had no, I don't think it was a shot. I think it's just a slip. But that touch, that shot, the physics. Well, I don't know, because I'm terrible at science. But that goal was a thing of beauty. And capped off a 10 out of 10 performance by Newcastle. A brilliant night, a historic night. And very, very proud of them players. The fans should be very proud of them. I know they are. Well, I'm not a Newcastle fan. But me seeing it, if I was a fan, every single one of them players was outstanding. Every single one of them ran their socks off, defended like units, controlled the midfield, making brilliant runs. What do you want me to say? Newcastle were there for the big time. And when the draw was made for the group stage, everyone doubted them with a group of Dortmund, Milan, and of course PSG. And now currently they're top of it on 4 points for 1 win and 1 draw. And bearing in mind, Newcastle should not have got a point at Milan. They could have won it at the end, but like their attack was anonymous compared to last night. That's a very, very stark contrast between Newcastle 2 weeks ago in Milan or Newcastle last night. And I prefer the Newcastle last night as a neutral. They're very, very good to watch. No big name players or egotistical ones, as I'm trying to say. No egotistical ones. And it was just, I just loved every single minute of it. But regarding PSG, it's not about them. It's about Newcastle, how well they played. For PSG, hang your heads in shame. There's no Neymar, there's no Messi, there's no Verratti. You can't rely on them anymore. Yes, it's a big summer transition, but come on now, you're better than this. You got Mbappe, the talisman, for goodness sake. Ousmane Dembele, on his day, without injury, he can do things. Where has he been all season? Like, something needs to be explained or changed, and it cannot continue any longer. I'm not angry. I'm not angry at PSG. I'm just baffled again of how bad they've been in the Champions League again. And all the focus and all the applause should be given to Newcastle United. And don't be surprised if they get out of that group. I will not be surprised if they get out of that group. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say about the match. What a match. Thankfully, I was able to watch it. And I loved every single minute. So, that's the video ending. That is it. As a favour, like and share and subscribe. And turn on the notifications. I'll be back very soon for another video like this, not criticising referees and talking about the beauty of the game that is football. So thank you, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, and I'm out.